Welcome Japan.
Hey, it's that time again for the Why Come Japan show. I'm your host, Mr. Radrey, where I interview creatives inside or outside of Japan. And today I take you to inside Japan once again. And on my show, my lovely show, is filmmaker Justin Carter.
Hello, everybody.
Welcome. Have you ever done a podcast before, Justin? This is your first one?
This is my second one. And
really?
Yeah. I'm actually kind of shy, so yeah.
Well, what was your first one, if you don't mind talking about it?
My first one was with I forgot the name of it, but it was like a hip hop podcast. I can't think of the name. Oh, the Mega Late Show. The Mega Late Show. Those guys are pretty cool. Should check them out if you like hip hop music.
Oh, wait, you do hip hop music?
Yeah, I got a song on YouTube right now.
Oh, how did I miss this? I mean, I've only seen like your Vimeo stuff. Like, well, what's more popular? Do you like your filmmaking stuff or your music stuff?
You know what? I've been trying to figure that out.
All right, yeah, fair enough.
Get it right, 2019.
Okay, so you've mostly done you do music, you do hip hop, like any other types of music that you do?
I do pop music, but it's just the hip hop one that's been popular for what I do, just because the position I was in allowed me to take it to the next level. But I want to work with like everybody, man. I don't want to just limit myself to that. Like I want country singers, pop singers, J-pop, Korean pop groups, whatever. Like if anybody's interested, like I'll work with them. If
you think you could make a theme song for this show? Because I'm really looking for one. I'll pay you. I'll pay handsomely.
I'll try. I'll try. I never did that before, but I'll try.
Do you have any favorite podcasts? Like ones that you like?
Joe Rogan's pretty cool.
Joe Rogan?
Yeah.
I've never actually listened to a single episode of his. Yeah, I should. I mean, the only one I listen to religiously is like the H3 podcast. And I like their intro and their outro. It's very calming and upbeat. That's what I want. But
I never heard of them. What do they talk about?
H3 podcast, H3, they're a YouTube couple, both, what was it? The girls from Israel and like the guys from, he's an American Jew, and they just like, they do commentary. They're like a commentary channel where they talk about whatever. And I watch them religiously, so I'm like kind of copying them, and they kind of copy off of like Howard Stern and his setup. So I'm always looking for ways to improve. I guess in a way, really, I guess it would, because sometimes people have like no direction or vision for what it is that they want to do with a piece of art or anything. And I guess my philosophy is you should always like have something that what you want to see is what you should do. Do you agree with that? Do you ever feel like you feel aimless at sometimes?
Sometimes, yeah. But I do agree, like you should create something that you want to see, right? Because we're all here and we're all different. So why would you want to like be a copy of somebody else? Exactly. Take what you need and flip it.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I mean, what is it? They say like, do you ever see? There's a documentary on YouTube called "Everything Is a Remix." You ever heard of it?
Yeah, they did the thing with Tarantino, right?
Yeah, they did the thing with Tarantino, and they did a couple of them. And they pretty much made their argument is nothing is original. Everything's copied off of everything else.
Yep.
But I mean, I guess that's my philosophy as well. It's like there's no real originality, but until you get in trouble, I guess, with major record labels.
Yeah, they'll get you. Walt Disney will get you too, and Nintendo.
Have you ever had trouble with any of them?
No,
making music?
No, I don't really sample in my music, so.
Oh, okay.
That keeps me out of a lot of trouble.
Yeah, well, this is awful. It's like usually sometimes when you're interviewing somebody, you should probably check out their entire oeuvre of work. I didn't even know you had music.
No, it's cool, man. Like, like it's whatever. So I don't feel any kind of way about it. I'm just happy to be here.
Do you take any pride in the music that you make?
Nah, not really. Like it's weird. I always feel like I can do better, or it's always like not good enough for me. So I always feel like nah. And I'm also really shy about sharing my music. It's really weird. Like by myself, I could rock out to my music, but when I play it for other people, I gotta like leave the room. Like I can't be there.
Oh no, I totally get that. You
Yeah.
know, because I mean, I've been working on these two films for like 9 fucking years, and it's just sort of like the two ones. I'm not making this up. The two ones that are there, and it's just sort of like, oh man, there's like one of them, the one that's on there, Daikonashi, the one you saw the trailer on. It's
Yeah.
just like it's so. Well, it's not bad. It's just averagely bad.
Dude, that movie's it looked like a cult classic, man.
Well, yeah, because the trailer is great. I mean, have you ever seen like a great trailer for a movie? Like, what is it? Get Out. It has a really good trailer.
Or Prometheus.
Yeah,
But
well, everybody just remembers the Prometheus from the bomb, and then everybody started copying it for a while.
yeah, I've seen great trailers and bad movies. So
I see. So I guess, yeah, I guess it would. I guess what you have to do as a creative is you have to start um, taking some. You have to create lots of stuff before you can actually have some pride in what it is you make.
hmm.
Would you agree with that?
um I wouldn't say you would have to create so much stuff. I would probably say you should just be comfortable, with the process and, don't try to rush it. I think if you just appreciate the process, then like, I don't know. The real question for me is, should we really have pride in our work? Is pride a good thing to have in your work?
That's interesting. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, well, if you don't make something, then it doesn't really leave a mark of your own somewhere else. I mean, isn't that the point? I mean, I kind of see it as like I have like a very existential view on life. Is
Hmm.
is that the philosophy is that you have to make something in order to have your life have some kind of a meaning in a
Yeah.
way.
For me, I just see it as symbolic immortality. And, you know, I understand what you're saying. For me, the most important thing is just if I can change one life, like I'm super cool with that. And that doesn't even have to be related to my art. Like if I can just change one person, like I'm cool with that. But I think trying to like be like immortalized through your work, like for me, that's just kind of like it's so many people who ain't gonna be remembered because they don't create things. Um,
That's true. I could agree with that.
yeah, but I strive for just making a world a little bit better by just you know touching one heart. I'm cool with that. Sorry if I kind of got off your question a little bit.
No, I mean that's part of the question, and that's the podcast. Just you see where the conversation takes you. It's an adventure. Yeah. All right. So I guess we kind of got off course here. I should probably set you up some more because I mean that's what a host and a podcast is supposed to be, right? Um, so how many films have you made? And is everything on Vimeo?
No, not everything's a Vimeo, and according to me, if I include the nostalgia film, I only technically actually made about like 4 films that I actually put some time into. But the Wake and Seat film is my most serious film because all the other ones were done on a whim. Like Just Another Day was done on a whim. Um, and I guess the rest of them, I can't remember the names to some of them, but like they were just out literally, it'd be like I'm sitting in my room and I'm like, I got an idea, and then I go shoot it and then edit it the same day and then put it up.
Yeah, okay. So it's not like this huge laborious process that goes behind it.
Nah, The Wake and See was the same way. Like, well, I had a bit more process behind that one, but the way we made that short film was very unorthodox, I would say.
Why unorthodox?
Well, we didn't write first, we shot everything. Like we didn't have a script. We just shot, and then we wrote the script after we shot everything, and then like we did the phone dialogue so we can fit the script in with the scene because I didn't want it to be like an actual like dialogue kind of movie, which was like super heavy. I want it to be more like external visual. I feel like the subtle things matter more.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it really does. I mean, it adds up to something. Because I mean, you and I were a big fan of like David Lynch, and he, the way he makes his movies is like he's just sort of like he waits for like the right moment to get to him, or like he does what feels right.
Mm.
Um, I think have you seen Get Out?
Yeah, the Jordan Peele.
Yeah, the Jordan Peele movie.
Yeah.
I was listening to an interview with him once, and he said the best way to really be a good writer in terms of like writing for film or writing in general is just really to follow the fun. You know, it's like if you're enjoying yourself and you're having a good time, you should continue it, not be a slave to some structure or whatever.
And I think that's an interesting point that he made because nowadays, you know,
Oh, so you heard the interview?
well, no. I'm just agreeing about the quote.
Oh, what I just said.
Yeah,
Okay.
how you paraphrased it. And I think that's interesting because these days, you know, so much information out in the world, and we have so much access to things like people like 30 years ago didn't. So it's easy to be introduced to all these like different ways of creating. And you know, if you follow what's fun or interesting in your style of method, I think it'll lead you somewhere greater than trying to imitate like, you know, Woody Allen or somebody like, or somebody who's like, I like to write in coffee shops. So like coffee shops may not work for you, you know? So I think it's important to follow the beat to your own drum.
Yeah, I could agree with that. I mean, I could see that. I mean, sometimes, yeah, you need to have like the right space or the right thing in your life in order to like make something creative.
Mm.
But so wait, these films that
Right.
you've made how many? 3 or 4, or you've lost count?
I never counted them to be honest, but like the ones that I find okay are about four.
All right, okay. Well, I mean, to do some setting up here, the first film was it called The Waking Life? The Waking Life, yes, because Justin Carter worked on The Waking Life. It's like I do the same thing with my own movies. Sort of like my first film, or not first film, my second one, Daikonashi. I call it Daikonyama. Like, no, that's not right. But yeah, I'll put Justin's films in the description below. So if you haven't seen those yet, you can check them out. Yeah, the one you sent, the one you're particularly proud of, it kind of starts off in like the sea area, or like it looked like it was in Enoshima, or
Yeah, that's where it was.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess maybe I should ask what helps you get inspired for these kind of these films in a way. Like what is it your process? We just talked about processes a minute ago.
Yeah. So a process for me is I like to think a lot, you know, like uh a cool word I guess I can use is metacognition. I think about thinking. But
Good word.
I like to think a lot and um you know, I get a lot of inspiration from looking at life and personal experiences or experiences I see other people dealing with. So generally life is an inspiration. Um, Sometimes it might be something I read, or it might be from another film, or uh, maybe a video game or something. But like I have like a weird way of being inspired, but that's normally the typical process.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I mean that sounds about Normal. All right, so I looked it up on my phone. Fuck. Please don't hate me.
No, dude, cool, man.
It's called the waking seed, not walking. This dyslexia seed. the,
It's cool, man.
the waking seed, and it's in Japanese,
Mm-hmm.
and you had it translated. Did you? So you're originally from Virginia. Can I say that? Are you all right with me putting that on the internet?
Yeah, it's cool, man.
I
Virginia.
should probably like debrief my guests before they go on here. Like, is there anything you don't want to talk about? Is there anything you want to know? You know, or you don't want people to know?
Yeah, it's cool, man. I'm pretty cool.
Okay, all right. Well, that's refreshing. So why do you want to make? I guess I kind of asked this question already, but I'll ask it again. Why do you want to make movies? I still don't know why I want to make them.
I think I'm in the same. Excuse me. I feel like I'm in the same ball field as you. Like it's just kind of like I don't know why. I feel like it's almost innately like a part of me, and it's interesting because I never really properly took like a film class, and when I did, it was back in high school, and I had this Filipino teacher named Ms. Zephron, like sweet lady. She gave me a project, and like she told me, Justin, this was like the worst project I ever seen in my whole teaching career. She said, I'm gonna keep your film so I can show you the next generation of students what not to do in my class. But I'm just giving you like a brief of like how bad I was at this. But over time, like I started getting interested in it because I had two friends particularly. One is Jesse Freeman. He's a filmmaker, writer, photographer, like a mentor, big brother to me. And another one was my old roommate, Czar Campos. And he's like an editor, cameraman, but he also writes, and he's a genius. They're both geniuses to me. And I think being around them, like subconsciously added on to like that desire to make film because they just made it look cool. Like I was just like, you did that? And they were like, yeah. And then like, you wrote that, you think like that. So that on top of them introduced me to like a crap load of like cinema I never would have watched if I never would have met them. I still probably would have been like only Marvel or whatever showed up in the theater. But
what cinema did they introduce you to?
Oh man, they had like Ozu, Goddard, one.
You pronounce his name Goddard? I've always heard it as Godard, but I don't know.
I'm not French, man. They're gonna have to take an L on this one. I'm sorry.
I don't know. That's just like I remember. I used to have friends that get upset when I mispronounce his name or something. It's pronounced Godard. I'm like, okay, sure.
Speaking of French, I had a friend from France, and I was, you ever watch Dexter's Laboratory? And he's like,
yeah.
It was like
that one episode where he gets stuck in that phrase, right?
Yeah, they were like, he's saying it totally wrong. That's not how you say an omelet with cheese in French. But I was like, it sounds cool though. But anyway, yeah, I just wanted to.
Oh, that's wrong? Okay, well, I didn't know that. What's wrong about it?
I forgot what she said, but she was like, yeah, it's like
un petit de fromage or something.
Yeah, something like that. But they were just like, bro, you're saying it way wrong.
Oh.
But that's America for you. Or
that's America.
I'll take the L. It was probably just me. But no, yeah, I just wanted to say that real quick because I would probably destroy every French name.
What is it that brought you to Japan? I mean, that is the namesake of the show because I can't say it.
Yeah.
I hope anyway. I don't know. Like I've been asking a bunch of people to be on the show, and maybe they're turned away by the name because I mean, it is a question that us foreigners don't like.
Well, yeah. Well, for me, man, I ain't gonna lie. It's probably like a real common answer. Like, man, I was watching Dragon Ball Z. I was like 10 years old. And I remember like talking to my dad, and I was like, Dad, this cartoon looked way different from all the other cartoons. It's like way more detail. Like, it's just cool. And I was like, where did this come from? And he was like, maybe Japan. So I remember I had a best friend in 5th grade named Jordan Barnes. And like we had the library, and we used to spend like hours on the computer doing research on Dragon Ball Z, the power levels for each individual, like Vegeta, like, you know, when he was like screaming with the like little thing and he was like, it's over 9,000. Like,
well, that's the poor dub. I think in like Japanese he says something else though.
yeah,
Oh.
but it's like, I'm just like throwing it out there because it's like a meme, but it's kind of like, the to end it all, it's just kind of like all my favorite things was from Japan, like Final Fantasy, like all my favorite comic books and stuff. So originally I wanted to be a cartoonist here because I realized like they had less restrictions on the animation here at the time, like in the early thousands or late 90s. Like their restrictions for doing animation wasn't as strict as America. So I actually wanted to come here and be a cartoonist.
Wait, what are the restrictions in America? I don't even know.
I think at the time it was like you can't be like too graphic and stuff. But like when I read it,
Oh yeah, that's
I was
right.
like 10 or something. But now it's like way crazy. So it's just like do what you want, Netflix, bro. Like that Devil Cry Baby, whatever that thing was on Netflix was like the darkest thing next to Berserker I watched. Berserker was crazy. Like the ending of the movie, it was like a 3-part movie, I think. Crazy. Crazy.
Wait. Devil Baby Cry. Fuck.
Yeah, I don't know the name of it, but I watched.
That's an anime though. That's not American though.
No, it's not. But I'm just saying, like now, like it's on Netflix. Netflix is American, if I'm not mistaken, and like it's just kind of like there. It's almost like whoever directed that, like there's like we can do this. Okay, all right, put that in there. We can do this. Word, all right, put that in it. Like whoever the Japanese guy who directed it, he just went crazy with it. And that Berserker movie was crazy too. Like people was just getting torn up.
Berserker, is that a Japanese movie?
Yeah, I think it's a movie, but it's like a comic book, and like the comic started decades ago, and there's still the creator dude is still working on it because the creator was like a prodigy. Like when he was like young, he was like drawing like human figures like it was nothing, and then like he made Berserker and he just kept going on. He still does it to this day, but I don't know that guy's name. I just saw the movie and I was just like, cool.
Well, because like when I think of like adult animation, I mean, yeah, I do agree with you that like back then, I mean, maybe the only adult show that really existed was like Ren and Stimpy on Nickelodeon.
Yeah,
I mean, today you have stuff like Rick and Morty and I don't know what's another adult cartoon. Can't think of any. That's the only one that really comes to mind. But yeah, you're right. I remember anime was one of those things where you'd watch it and it's like, man, this is really violent. Like this is something else, you know? And I remember there was that time where you're like, no, cartoons are always for kids and they're just for kids.
right.
Right. And so that was definitely the first time. Like I remember seeing Princess Mononoke when it came to the movie theater. It was like me and like 5 other people. And I was like thinking, what? This movie's rated PG-13 and it's a kid's movie? The hell? And I remember asking my dad, because he's the one who took it to me, and I think I was like 15 at the time. No. I can't remember how old I was, but I was young. And I remember, why is this movie rated PG-13? Like, why is that? He gave me some like ridiculous explanation. Like, I don't know. I see that, like, you know Princess Mononoke, right? You've seen it?
Yeah, I love it.
On the poster of it, there's a guy with a bow and arrow. And he's like, I don't know, maybe he takes that bow and arrow and he shoots and he hits some girl's tits off or something. Like, what? Like, okay, I guess I'll go see it.
Actually, he shot like somebody's arm off or something.
Yeah, no, yeah, you're right. He shoots somebody's arm off with a bow and arrow, which I don't think is actually physically possible.
Yeah, that he had like that super arm.
Yeah, I don't know. Oh boy. Oh, what is it? Siam, I think that's his name in the chat. Friend of ours, friend of the show, friend of a friend. He's saying BoJack Horseman is also a good example of adult animation.
I forgot about that. I love BoJack.
Yeah, I haven't really gotten into it. Some people really love it. I mean, because I started watching it and I got to like a couple of those episodes. One episode where he, what is it? Like there's one episode where he's making a rock opera, or not him, like one of his roommates or something. He's making a
Oh,
rock opera.
Todd's the coolest, man.
But yeah, I don't know. And I stopped watching after that. I'm guessing it gets better because everybody's like, wow, BoJack Horseman really gets real at one point, or something about depression or something.
Yeah, that show gets pretty dark, man. That show's pretty dark, but I like it. And another stupid show I liked was Disenchantment, who was created. It's like a new show created by the guy who made Simpsons, the Futurama. It's like so corny, but I like the kind of corny dry jokes.
Another example that Siam also says in the chat is South Park is, I guess, another good example.
Yeah, I don't watch South Park, man.
No, I don't watch that show either. I don't know.
I was like, sometimes I'm surprised it's still airing. I'm like, people still watch this?
Well, I mean, I do appreciate the creators behind it. I think they have a very interesting process. I think maybe what it is for me is sometimes that show's a little too real. You know, it doesn't really like I don't need to digest what it is I just saw on the news, you know, and to be mocked by some cardboard or not cardboard construction paper cutouts, you know. But I guess it's not. It was that was the first episode was actually used with construction paper, different colored papers.
Yep.
And then they animated it that way. Now it's like done through a computer system or something.
Yeah, it's way easier.
Yeah, I guess so. I don't know. Anyway, we're trying to shine away from the main question here. So, what is it that helps you get inspired that says, this is a movie? That's like, is it always something kind of visual like that comes into your head?
Do you mean like, as in like, if I watch a movie and it's like, oh, this is a movie, or just like when you say a visual idea, like maybe I'm just daydreaming about something? Is that
like okay? Well, I'll give you an example. One time I came up with an idea for a movie. Usually a lot of the time it's on accident.
Mm-hmm.
Or it's just like a happy accident. Like I came up with the idea for this recent film I want to make maybe next year if I ever get around to it and I get the people together and all the timing together and all that jazz. Where I have this one student, like a private student I meet every now and then for some easy money, right? Or actually, no, I don't see him anymore. Anyway, point is that he was a scientist and he was making drugs to treat HIV. And I remember like he was really into like anime and he was really into like idol girl groups.
Uh-oh.
And I always confused the words HIV with AKB, you know, like like I was I was studying HIV 48. I'm like, what? Like HIV 48, you're joking, right? And he's like, no, I'm talking about the disease. Like, oh, I'm sorry. I know you're
that's horrible.
Right.
Oh man.
And so that gave me an idea for a film. It's like, you know what's really funny? Because in Japan, they always have these like idol girls, these idol groups.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes you have these ones that stand for something. They had one for they had a bunch of these girls who were trying to teach fire safety. And so they're all carrying like fire extinguishers and they're singing songs about how to keep safe during fire. And I was thinking, well, it would be interesting if maybe you had a girl who was trying to like, you know, spread awareness of like AIDS or something. But the problem is with like a lot of these fire safety girls
Mm-hmm.
or these idol groups that represent things, is it just becomes more about the girl and like the idea that she's an idol and less about the actual subject, what they're talking about, you know?
Yeah, those guys be like, baby, I'm burning with love. Can you save me? Just like stupid things. But yeah.
So I mean, that's like an example of how like just randomly I came up with an idea. Like Dai Konashi just came up to me one day when I was at Temple University. I had to stay in the dormitory, and there was this guy who had because like you always stayed in our own rooms. We had like individual rooms, and we found a Purikuta picture of this like this guy who like he dressed really flamboyantly. He had like this big change, like the big chains on his shirt, and there's like he was with some really attractive woman, and in the Putty Coulda, it was wrote on somebody wrote on there. I guess he wrote on there, hanging out with my bitches in Gotanda. I'm like, what? It's a true story, and I'm like, who the hell is this guy? And I later find out who it is at our school. He went there, and he always like has these ridiculous outfits, right? And like he always like dresses. He dresses like a pro wrestler, you know.
Oh man,
he dressed like a pro wrestler, and because they always like. Let me think of a few. What's that one with the mask? He died recently. He was thrown. The Undertaker? I think it was the Undertaker. No, it was the guy. No, it wasn't the Undertaker. I can't remember. What's that?
Mankind.
Maybe it was Mankind.
He was like Cactus Jack and Dude Love. He had like 3 different personalities.
Maybe that was it. Is it like there was the guy with the sock puppet? Do you remember him?
Yeah. I think that was Mankind. Yeah.
Is that Mankind? Okay.
Yeah,
well, it wasn't He didn't look like Mankind, but kind of like maybe more like maybe Randy Rowdy Piper. Maybe not like him. He was the one who wore the kilt and everything. Anyway, point is, this guy always dressed flamboyantly like that. And at this time, I was in art school, and I was like studying art and everything. And I had this one friend where it's like, wouldn't it be funny if like you were drawing fat feet all the time? Because it was around the same time. It was perfect timing, right? There was another guy who went to my school, a guy named Casey Cummings, does a YouTube channel now. You can check him out if you want. He's actually in Daikonashi for a little bit, the unedited version, if I ever put that up. But anyway, he told me the story about Daikonashi, these people who here in Japan who have this fetish for big feet, right? And I was thinking, like, well, why don't I have my friend who's an art student be painting big feet by the pond, and he's constantly annoyed by this ex-pro wrestler who just like he just lives here because he's people know him in Japan, whereas like if he goes to America, nobody knows who he is. And that's what kind of birthed the idea of Daikonashi in a way. So I guess after explaining all of these the films I've been making or been trying to make, my question here is, do you make your films kind of the same way? Like everything just kind of clicks into place? Because I'm starting to realize that with like myself, everything just clicks at one moment at one time.
Yeah, that's pretty much how it goes.
Yeah, all right.
Like I have an idea for a new film, and it just the idea came to me because I was on Japan Times looking at something, and then they had like the sub articles, and I clicked on it, and I was just like, huh. And then I just said, okay, I want to make a film about this.
Can you tell us what it is, or is it a secret? I mean, I don't know. Sometimes I hate talking about movies or projects or whatever, because sometimes when you talk about it, it's half done, you know? So I don't want to be at that stage where something is half done.
Yeah, I'm going to keep it under wraps right now, because it's just kind of like, I just started it, so I want to get a lot of it done. And yeah, then when it's done, you guys will see it. But I'm definitely inspired to make it. It's like after the Wake and See, like it always started off with something small, but then I kind of get this sort of obsession, like this kind of fire burning in my soul. Like I have to complete this. I have to do this. Like if you're in my way, you're going to get pushed aside or stepped on. Like I have to complete this. And that's just how I feel about this. So
okay,
get done. Yeah. But I think this project's going to be a big project. Actually, I know it's going to be a big project. It's probably going to be a few years for anybody to see anything about it.
And we can't like know anything about like how many actors are going to be in it or where it's going to take place or anything.
I don't even know yet. Like it just started. That's why like I can't really say anything.
Oh, I see.
But,
Yeah, probably better you don't say anything because then people start asking you about it, and you like then like they start asking more questions about like how's it going? Is it almost done? You finished? You know? And you're like,
yeah, I learned that.
like I wish I didn't tell them anything.
Yeah, because like when I was younger, I used to be like, I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do this. And then like I never completed anything. But when I shut up and then just release stuff, they'd be like, when did you do this? And it's just like, yeah, I was just low key, bro. And
Yeah.
yeah, so that's just I think it's better to work with very few people knowing what you're doing. At least for me, because if I talk too much about it, then it probably won't get done.
All right. So the 4 movies that you have open to the public are on Vimeo, as I said earlier. But when did you first start making movies?
Um
I guess you kind of mentioned that earlier. It was in college, right?
yeah, so like around 2013 or maybe 2014, somewhere around there. Like I didn't really get into it until like me maybe like a year or a couple months before I moved in with my friend who was editor. Yeah, because one was for a class project. Now that's kind of like what projected me.
I see. Yeah, no, because when I first started making movies, it was in high school. No, it was in middle school. I was like 15 years old, and I was really into Army of Darkness. I love that movie.
The movie's cool.
And I remember the guy who was in the Army of Darkness, Bruce Campbell. He wrote a book, and I got to go to his book signing. I got a picture taken with him, and I thought it was awesome. And then I read about his life, about how he made these shitty short films with Sam Raimi, who later went on to do Spider-Man and
Yeah.
that shitty Wizard of Oz movie that I don't recommend anybody to see, but on to better and greater things. What else did he do? I think that's just it. He just did Army of Darkness, Evil Dead, and then Spider-Man, and that's it. Let me go look him up. Is he doing anything these days? Because I always loved his gonzo approach to filmmaking.
The funny thing is they just released his Spider-Man suit for the new PlayStation 4 Spider-Man because people were demanding it. So he's relevant again.
Sam Raimi? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I know. I would. Yeah, like I said earlier, it's just his Gonzo style was the best because he always had like these weird sound effects that he'd always put in all of his films that you don't really see. And I mean, okay, all right. Here's something I was going to ask you.
Okay.
This is kind of a trite question, but here goes. What's your favorite movie? I know people usually hate questions like it's like asking a writer, "What's your favorite book?" What word do you like to use a lot?
I think I don't have a favorite movie, but one of my top movies is The Fifth Element.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I really like The Fifth Element. Like I know it's not the greatest movie. I know, like, but it's
You just like the Chris Tucker scene.
Chris Tucker, Bruce Willis. But actually, I like the Leeloo Dallas, like multi-pass, like favorite character and the opera singer. Like they're cool. And I like the way Luke Besson like set it in the future because it's almost like a timeless movie. Like I even watch it now and it's like, the special effects was pretty good in this, like really ahead of its time, I think. But yeah, that was like one of my top movies.
Yeah,
but
that's true. It was a pretty good one.
Yeah, but like I mean, it's not like There Will Be Blood or Tokyo Story by Ozu, like all these like really great films.
Well, that's true. It's not an art film.
Yeah, it's like just it's cool. I mean, you can watch it with anybody.
Huh. I'm looking at Sam Raimi's list here. It looks like he hasn't really done much. I wonder what he does with his life.
You know what other movie I like?
What's that?
You can keep looking through his stuff. I can't tell if I'm pronouncing this right. It's like Ida, IDA.
IDA.
Ida. It's like about like this nun girl,
Okay.
and like I
I
think
like when I type it in Google, the Idaho burger comes up. I'm like, what? Okay, came out in 2013. Ida.
yeah, it's really good, and they use like this square ratio to make the whole film, and like the composition is really nice, and the story is good.
Oh, did you see? Was it a ghost story? Or have you heard of it?
That sounds so. Is it an old movie? Sound like
No. It just recently came out. It has Mara Rooney in it, or what's her name? It's Mara Rooney, the girl who was in the girl with the dragon tattoo.
no, I haven't seen Ghost Story.
Anyway, yeah, no ghost story, and it's all shot like 4:3 or something, and it's a super slow, kind of. I guess you would to be nice
Mm.
to the filmmakers. I would say it's a very meditative film, but it's really super slow. It's like Tarkovsky slow. If you're familiar with Andrei Tarkovsky.
No, I'm not familiar with him, but when I think of slow, I think of this old Japanese film called The Naked Island by Kento Shinoda or something like that from the 1960s. It's like about this family who lives on this island and goes back to mainland to get what they need and take their kids to school. And then they do it every day in a rowboat. And there's almost no dialogue in the whole movie, and it's over an hour long. That's a slow movie.
No, I never heard of it.
Yeah, it's beautiful though, but it's slow. Oh yeah, but the most recent movie I seen was Hereditary. That movie was freaking.
Oh, that was good. That was really good. I like that one.
Yeah, the end caught me off guard. I was like, what the?
Yeah, it has a pretty good twist at the end. Did you? There's a one on Netflix that came out. I really did not like it. Everybody loved it.
What is it
It was Annihilation. Did you see that one?
No, I haven't seen it. I should.
All right. Well, you didn't miss anything. I don't think you missed anything. I think the colorist in that movie needs to be fired.
Is it like a scary movie or?
No, it's kind of like imagine if. Well, I can say this. Imagine if Ghostbusters, the female reboot one. Imagine if it was good, but that's not saying much because the Ghostbusters female reboot is horrible. That's all I can really say about it. But it's a little more. It has a little more. Imagine if the Ghostbusters movie wasn't creepy. I mean, if it was creepy, because they have some few creepy scenes, and a lot of them die. Spoilers, but oh well. Well, all right. Somebody in the chat named JT says, shout out to my man Yufeoh.
Oh, UFO.
UFO. Okay.
That's
I respect the grind, brother.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, so is that your like stage name for your music career?
Yeah, or just as an artist generally, yeah.
Oh. Do you have any favorite, like I was talking to a friend of mine about stage names today. Like, what's his name? Takeshi 69, who just recently went to prison.
Yeah, I don't listen to his stuff.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying I listened to it. I'm just saying that, like, I was thinking that's a pretty good stage name,
Yeah, the craziest one for me was like the XXXTentacion. Like he passed away, like rest in peace. But like his name was weird. I was like, how do you pronounce that? XXXTentacion. I think it was like a French name or something.
Well, I mean, it's unlike what is it? Like his real name is like Daniel Rodriguez or something. He's not even Japanese. Like he's of Hispanic descent or something. And I was thinking, then I started thinking about like what other stage names? And there's stage names like Dick Van Dyke. Like, why would you want to be called Dick Van Dyke? Like, what's your real name? Penis Van Lesbian or something?
I don't know, man. People get pretty creative these days. It's just like, huh.
But then again, maybe Dick Van Dyke, he was mostly famous for what was he? he was mostly famous in the 50s, and probably they didn't have the names Dick and Dyke. Probably weren't associated with genitals and homosexuality. So,
Yeah,
I don't know.
I think those names will never be like set, used for a kid ever again.
Oh, okay. Here we go. In the chat, Brandon's saying Tekashi 6ix9ine is Puerto Rican. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Thank you for clarifying that. Like, because we need to know. Here on Why Come Japan, we state our facts. We get them right.
He's Puerto Rican.
Yeah. Okay. So what are some things you'd like to see filmed in Japan? Anything that you think you feel like, hey, this should be filmed in Japan?
Like I never really thought about that in like a very heavy way.
Like, I think some things, well, I mean, I've said this in a previous podcast, that I want to see a really cool Netflix show from Japan. They still haven't made it.
Oh, you don't like Terrace House? No, I'm joking.
And Terrace House is okay. It's just, I don't know. It's like, do I really want to watch a reality show about dating? But everybody says it's great, so maybe I should like get into it one day. But it's just sort of like every TV show nowadays just feels like a commitment. So it's like if it looks good, or if it has like enough good reviews, or I see an episode that like hooks me in right away, I'll watch it. But I mean, I watched one Terrace House video because there's an idol girl that I really liked, and one of them named Kanke Miwako. So that's the only reason why I watched for a while.
I met one of the members on there by accident. I didn't even know she was a famous person until like recently, when I saw her like book was released by Marc Jacobs named Lauren Tsai. I was like, "You're famous? You draw? You was on Terrace House? What?" Like, I was just blown out the water.
What Terrace House is like, they recycle the actors every season, is that right?
I have no idea. I don't commit to that show.
All right, you'll see. All right, well then that's what I want. I want a good Japanese Netflix show. That's what I want.
I want a good Japanese show that's not so Japanese, if that makes sense.
Good luck.
Yeah.
But I don't know, maybe, who knows? Maybe things might change. 2020 Olympics is coming, and they're trying to be more foreigner friendly. So let's hope that leads to something better. I don't know. Because it's like, come on, man, bring back the J-horror, or bring back the Kurosawa stuff, or something.
You know what? Like, some people, I read somewhere, it's like, is Japan still Eastern? Like, it's like they're so westernized now. Like, it's like, are they still Eastern?
Why do you say that?
Because like America and Europe's taken over, man. It's like Japan is really westernized. And it's just kind of like they're losing traditions, and it seemed like a lot of stuff that used to make them cool is like slowly fading away. Like,
Well, what's cool that's fading away?
I don't know, just like old traditions, like Alma divers and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I don't know.
Whatever does it?
Yeah, no, I don't know. I mean, it's just sort of like, okay, it's like I can compare it to like America and the cowboy. It was a time period in America when it was really short and really romanticized, but nobody remembers it because nobody's alive to remember those days. And there's still hundreds upon hundreds of movies made about Westerns. I mean, the same thing can be said about Japanese movies. It could just be be like what they call a Jidaigeki movie. And I mean that people want to see ninja movies. They want to see samurai stuff, but I don't know. I'm not sure what it is I want to see anymore. There's a really cool series on Netflix called Dark from Germany, which was awesome. I watched the shit out of that. That was cool.
I think on Amazon there was this new show called well, it's not really so new, but it's like The Man in the High Castle, The Highest Man in the Castle.
Oh, right. You were mentioning this last time we met.
Yeah, I always get the name wrong, but man, that show is really good.
The man who's high in the castle that's high in the man.
The castle of the man.
The castle of the man. There we go. Justin recommends Castle in the Man. What is this recommendation of yours?
Oh man.
Actually, you know what? I just realized we were on the part of another question, but I just cut through this and asked a different question. So we
Okay.
were talking about favorite movies, right?
Right.
A moment ago.
Hmm.
And I was thinking, I have this little app that I use called Letterbox.
Okay.
Um, and what it does is it helps you keep track of all the films you see or ones you want to see, and it lets you choose uh, um, uh, like your favorite films. And I've picked 4 favorite films that I would be able to take with me. I could watch over and over and over again. I could take with me, and in any desert island
Mm.
or any island in general. Desert island? I don't know if that counts as an island. If it's in a desert, I don't know. Anyway, point is, so my top 4 movies I can take with me anywhere: Evil Dead 2, Kung Pao Enter the Fist, Super Vixens, and John Carpenter's The Thing. Do you have any? What are yours? Do you have any 4 major ones you could take with you anywhere?
The Fifth Element, Castaway with Tom Hanks. It's just about something the way he screams, Wilson. So passionate. It made me want to go buy a volleyball, man. What's another one?
Wilson. Okay, that's good. I remember I was talking to my teacher about Castaway, and when he loses Wilson, he starts crying, right? And I was thinking, and my teacher's like, he had to get rid of Wilson, because that would just be awkward. He had to. Could you imagine, like, you're back in your society, right? And it's like, yeah, here's my Wilson doll. I talk to it all the time. It's pretty cool. And people are like, okay, great. You talk to it. You talk to a volleyball, right?
All at the top.
Okay, so Fifth Element and
Castaway and In the Mood for Love by Wong Kar-wai.
oh yeah, they made a sequel to that 2046.
Yeah, that's cool too. Oh man, but also like Chungking Express. Chungking Express is really good.
I only saw 2046. I didn't see In the Mood for Love, which I hear is the unofficial sequel to it, right?
No, it's the other way around.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
The first one.
Should I have seen In the Mood for Love first before seeing 2046?
It probably would have made a lot more sense.
Yeah, because I was really confused, and I'm like, I guess it was good. It was artsy, I guess. I don't know. I didn't get much out of it.
No, it's one of those movies. Like, I think his approach to making movies is really unique. Like, because he doesn't like to write as a director. Like he said, he procrastinates and then he writes at the last minute. And then, like, I heard, like, he shoots a lot of different scenes and then, like, he just picks and chooses. Because In the Mood for Love had, like, a bunch of extra material that they didn't even use. And I heard they were, like, shooting for, like, 6 months, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, yeah, because I never really got into that director. I mean, he always shows up on these lists and everything. But okay, maybe I'll have an excuse to watch him. It doesn't seem like you see any good Hong Kong movies either nowadays.
Yeah.
You don't see good Japanese movies. You don't see good Hong Kong movies. I guess where all the good movies are coming out these days are Korea.
Yeah. The Last Train to what? Busan? The zombie on a train movie. That was dope. Old Boy's good too.
Yeah, Old Boy's great. Yeah, it's true.
But I think the last movie I'll probably take with me anywhere would be The Matrix, the first one.
The first one.
Yeah.
What do you think of the sequels? I gotta ask.
You know, a lot of people don't like it, but I like it. I like it. I was just like, cool. But that first one had the magic touch. Like,
oh yeah, of course it did. It had actually a philosophy to it. The second two, they seemed like they wanted to go somewhere interesting with it, but like it just kind of fell flat on its feet.
I think
Or flat on its feet. I don't know. What's the expression?
I have no idea.
All right, continue. Forgive me.
I was just gonna say maybe like the first one was so good, they were probably under too much pressure, to outdo the first one. It was like we did the first one way too well.
Yeah, no, I mean, how do you top that, right? How do
Mm-hmm.
you top Rene Descartes' I think, therefore I am philosophy?
Mm.
Okay, so Fifth Element, The Matrix, Castaway, and any War Wong Kwai movie. Is that how you pronounce his name?
Like one car Y or
Wong
something.
Kar Wai. All right. Yeah.
I always say it wrong too, so don't worry.
All right.
I'm like the worst at this stuff. It's like I like it, but I can't remember anything about it.
Yeah, maybe the reason why Hong Kong hasn't made any good movies lately is because they got took over by China back in '97. I guess. I don't
Yeah,
know.
but I heard it didn't like they don't have any restrictions. Like they can still put out whatever they want because Hong Kong's like a real unique place. So they're just kind of like, yeah, keep doing your thing.
Well, what is it? Because you have to have like people from China. They have to use like a special. They have to get a special passport or something on their passport that says they can go to Hong Kong. But
Really?
it's not until I just recently learned this. That or I mean, I knew this already, but what I didn't know was Hong Kong's going to become part of China in 2046.
That's a
Or not 46, 47? I think it's 47.
that's a long time from now.
Yeah, it is a long time from now, but pretty much what like if you China supposedly really wants Hong Kong to be part of it right now. Because I think at the time, like when Theresa May signed over the country back over to Deng Xiaoping or whatever his name was, the leader at China at the time. He says, "Yeah, I'll give you Hong Kong, but everybody in Hong Kong can be they can have freedom, they can have First Amendment rights, unlike China, right?"
Mm.
And China was cool at this because their country was like really kind of poor. And now 2018 today, China's like one of the most powerful countries in the world right now, championing I can't speak. Championing I still can't say the word. Getting close to America is what I want to say.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so maybe that's the reason why we're not seeing so many good Hong Kong movies, because censorship sucks.
Yeah. The funny thing I used to say, I hope I don't offend anybody, but I was like,
Oh, right. This is what everybody came here for.
China's gonna take over the world. Like there's a Chinatown everywhere. You can go to the most countryside place. There'll be a Chinatown. I'm telling you, man, I sound like a conspiracy theorist, but when it happens, man, ni hao to everybody. I'm already practicing my Cantonese, man.
It's true. There is a Chinatown everywhere. I wonder why that is. I guess I never thought of it that way. Well, no. Cantonese is only spoken in the southern part of the country. The northern part, they speak Mandarin. I don't know.
Yeah, well, I guess I'll be a dishwasher or something when they take over the world. But it's all good.
Yeah, same thing though, right?
Yeah.
All right. So we've talked off the record about projects and how it is better not to apply words or to what it is, the project itself. Because you told me, like, when you talked about your first film, not first film, the one you sent me, not Waking Life, what's it called again? Waking Dreams. I'm so sorry. Waking Seed. Fuck. All right. Waking Seed. You said you didn't really want to talk about it because it's like, why talk about it when it's already there?
Yeah, because like I think maybe people might get different interpretations from it. It's kind of like reading the Bible. Like you read it, and then people are like, "Oh, this is dumb." Somebody, like, "Oh, this is cool." Or some people's like, "I don't understand." So like, I want people to just look at my film and just be like, I got this from it, or I got that from it, right?
Do you want people to become Lutherans and Presbyterians and
No,
other
man.
interpretations of the Bible?
No, man, I don't want people to divide, man. I just want them to do them and just get what they want from it. If they don't like it, cool. If they like it, cool. If they got a life lesson from it, cool. If they thought the whole thing was stupid, then
Okay, so going along here with the metaphor, you don't quite want to be like the Catholic Church and giving out your own interpretation of the Bible. You would rather have it. Okay, help me out here. What's a religious group where they have the Bible and it allows you to think whatever it is you want to think about it? Is that Protestant?
I don't think that's any religious group, but
Okay.
you can just be a man who
It's
believes in
called
God,
being a man. That's what it's called.
you can just be the person who has the Bible and believe in God. Because the thing is, if you don't read the Bible, right? I'm probably going somewhere different. But it's like a lot of people let religion control them. Religion and the Bible are like though they're together or they seen together, it's kind of like they're two different things. A lot of things you would find in the Bible, you'll be surprised because the religious people are like exaggerating everything. He's like, wait, I don't have to do that. Wait, you taking this way out of context. So like the same with a movie, like I don't want it to be like everybody should think this about this. It's just kind of like if you see it, you see it. If you don't, you don't.
Oh.
You just go from there.
So how does one make a movie in Japan? What does one do?
Get a camera.
Just get a camera and say, "Hey, are you an actor?" And hey, can you make art or like art design?
Dude, you don't even need an actor. Maybe you just need a subject and just like fat people in Japan, and then just like make it look cinematic.
You just do it in Italian neorealism style. You just whip out your camera and say, "You're an actor. Go."
Yeah, basically, and just be like, be yourself.
I mean, you get that reference, right? You know Italian neorealism, right?
Actually, no, I don't.
Oh, Italian neorealism is back then. It's back when the Italians they filmed movies like Bicycle Thieves, if you've ever heard of that one.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a couple of actors in it, but all of the people in the movie, they're not actors; they're real people. And so basically, they just kind of followed them around with a camera, filming the movie. So all the extras and all that stuff, they aren't actors. They're actually just real people just walking around the city.
Do you
kind of?
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
No. Do I
like,
think what?
That's how they made Lost in Translation?
Maybe. I don't know. That one seems a little scripted. But I mean, there's some movies like this, like and there was Under the Skin, the one about Scarlett Johansson where she's an alien.
Mm-hmm.
Borat, I guess, is a good example of one.
Yeah, Borat was just dumb.
Any Sacha Baron Cohen thing for that matter. I mean, sometimes I really like reality shows for that reason, because has this kind of real feel to it. Italian neo-realism before it was Italian neo-realism. But yeah. So your attitude is Italian neo-realism all the way.
Yeah, basically, man.
Okay.
Like that's how I made like most of my films. Like, for instance, Just Another Day. Like, I was just filming my friend Julia. Shout out to Julia. But
some Julia girl I don't know. Awesome.
Yeah, like I was just like, yo, I'm gonna hang out and I'm just gonna film you. Like, she's like, what am I supposed to do? I was like, I don't know, just gonna hang out and we're just gonna film. So that's just how I did it. But I like it. I don't know. That one's my favorite. I think. Just Another Day. That's like my favorite film I did.
Just Another Day. Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Well, there's another short film called Just Another Day, I think.
Probably it's not a very.
Or what? It's like It's a Beautiful Day. Is that what it's called? Maybe it's called It's a Beautiful Day. It's like a short film. It's a Beautiful Day. I'm typing it in Google here. No, that's not it. It's a Beautiful Day. Michael Bublé. No, that's not what I mean. All right, never mind. Let's move on. All right. So, finally, are there any projects we can expect from you in the future that you're willing to share here?
Just a new short film I'm working on, and all I can say is that it's inspired by old Japanese tradition. And working on some music. But
Any tradition we can know what that tradition is, or no? It's a secret tradition.
yeah, it's secret. It's
All right,
secret.
okay.
I think if I say it, it'd just be easy. Like, oh, okay. So, but I don't know like how heavily I'm going to be in how heavily the movie's going to be influenced by the tradition, but it's definitely the foundation for it.
Okay,
And
I see.
then I'm working on a new music project. Hopefully I'll be done by next year if I'm not too lazy. But like yeah, that's what's going on right now. And besides that, that's the only things that's going on. Nothing.
I'm being corrected in the chat that it's not Boobel, it's Buble.
Yeah,
Fuck.
he actually had to change his last name so people would stop saying it wrong.
Oh, really? That I didn't know.
Yeah.
You really changed his last name?
Yeah, he had to change his last name, the spelling of it, so they would pronounce it.
Michael Bubble.
Yeah. He probably got like arrested for strangling somebody. Like,
Did he?
no. I would be.
Did he get Me Too'd?
Oh man, everybody get me too, man. I don't want to be famous.
Yeah, that's fine. Just don't be a dick. That's it. That's how you dodge Me Too's. Lots of these people, it's just like once they're given too much power, or they're like saying, "Wow, your art is important. I'll give you, over $10,000 for it." Hey, I'm pretty cool. Yeah. So it's sort of like I can be a dick to anybody, and then Me Too happened. The end.
That Me Too thing is scary, man. It's like, yeah, they could have been like a jerk, or the person could have just been like too sensitive. He said he liked my socks. So did he touch you? No, he just liked my socks. It's like, okay, he's Me Too. I think that, like, I understand. I don't want to offend anybody, but it's just kind of like, man, some people do deserve to get Me Too'd, and then some people are just like, yo, for real, like, you tripping over that, like, because he said you were cute. I don't know. It's like a very thin line for me.
Well, I can't call you cute. I'll get Me Too'd by you.
Man, some women take offense to it, but then they want to be like, well, I don't got no man. It's like, I don't know, like all this PC stuff. I'm not saying people who, man, you know what? Let me just stop for somebody.
No, this is Justin Carter raw.
Yeah,
this is what they came here for.
But man, like
people are writing up Medium articles about you right now. No, I don't know.
I'm gonna give them something to write about. All this like political correctness gotta go.
Yeah.
Like I mean, like 30 years ago, nobody ain't care about half of the stuff. Like everybody too sensitive. Like, man, like drink some whiskey and put some hair in your chest, man. Jeez, like every little thing. Like, he made a gay joke. Like, yo, people been making gay jokes for years. Like now it offends you because you just decide to come out. Like, ain't nobody trying to kill you, bro. Ain't nobody stoning you to death. It's not the Middle East where they put a bag over your head and throw you off the top of the building because you're gay. Like, come on, man. Like, chill. Like, take.
Well, I think the thing is with that is there's a lot of money in it, and that's why it's a thing.
Well, you can't take nothing with you when you die. Chill, relax, and have a good time. That's all I'm gonna say. It's just kind of like, and the reason why I'm only using them as an example because like it's just what's probably the most talked about topic recently. But I'm just kind of like, one day you're going to want to say something, and if you keep saying people can't say what they want to say, then one day you're going to want to say something. People will be like, "Hey, that's not funny. You made a Jewish joke. You're anti-Semitic," or whatever they say to you. It's just kind of like I think everybody should be able to say whatever they want. Now, only time I really get defensive about it, if you want to be PC around kids. Like kids don't need to hear everything. But when you ain't around kids, have fun. And maybe elders, I guess, if they're not, it depends who they are. But it's just kind of like there's a time and place for everything. But if you want to say what you want to say, you should say it, but you should be prepared for the consequences, right? So if you want to be like a white dude dropping the N-word, maybe your one friend who's black is cool with it, but you go into the wrong place and say it, you get beat up.
You hear that, PewDiePie? We're coming for you.
Oh, PewDiePie crazy, man. He crazy. Like, People are crazy. People are so crazy, dude. But it's just kind of like I'm all for it. I used to serve in the military, so that's what I fought for. Like, say what you want.
Wait, what? This I didn't know. You were in the military?
Yeah, dude. Yeah, I was in the Navy, but it was just kind of like,
Is that why you're here? You're here because of the Navy?
basically, yeah, like the way, man, life is weird because, like, man, I grew up poor, dude. Like, ain't like I'm rich now, but it's just kind of like where I came from. Like, my house used to get shot up and stuff. This one guy got beat halfway to death in front of my house
Yikes.
with a bat. Like, my car was shot up. Like, not because they were shooting at us; it was just shooting into the environment. But when I was older, it wasn't bad, but there was still stuff going on. And yeah, I went to the military right after high school. And that around that time, they just came out with the new 9/11 GI Bill, and it's almost like the stars lined up for me. But for me, I'll just say it was God, because that's just what I believe in. But like, I didn't have money. I went in, and like the GI Bill's not free. Like, people think it's just free from serving. I don't know how they do it now, but when I first started it, they took like $100 and something out your paycheck for 1 year, and they said if you do that, and if you get if you get honorably discharged, we'll cover your whole college. And they did more than that, because while I was in, they just started it. So by the time I got out, they already did revisions, and they like fixed a lot of things that was wrong with it. And like when I got out, they gave you like a housing allowance, book allowance, and they paid for your college. So all I had to do was go to school, and I don't want
Oh.
to do nothing. Got a 4-year bachelor's.
Oh. Wait, did you go to school in Japan or in
I went to the
America?
same school you went to.
Oh, really? Okay. All right. Well, small world. Okay. All right.
But I went
Yeah.
to Japan campus, which they're like redoing right now. It looked like it's gonna be
Yeah, just when we leave, right?
right. It's like girls.
Fuck you.
Or they made me go to that office building. I felt like a salary man going to school. I was depressed. It's like, geez.
I didn't hate it. I mean, I enjoyed what we had. I thought it was cute.
Yeah, I was awkward. Like, yeah, I was just awkward with a lot of people.
So wait a minute. Does that mean your major was communications?
No, it was art. Because
Wait, you graduated with an art degree?
yeah.
Because I don't know. I have a bunch of friends who went for art and they could never graduate. The only reason why communications was great was because it's easy to graduate with.
Well, for me, like, man, I know I didn't want to be like no financial or anything, but the reason they have art degree, well, was it there when you went there? No, right?
What's that?
To graduate as a artist.
Graduate as an artist. No, you could graduate. It's just you had to take a lot of classes to graduate.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah, I did. Man, that intensive writing class was serious. I was like, man,
Oh, okay.
I'll never forget that guy's name, Nettleton. Like, like he was like the most strict teacher ever. But like the cool thing was, like, if you did well in his class, you did well. So when I got that B plus, I was happy. I was just like, yeah, because he's one of those guys. He's one of those people, like, they're very hard to impress, but like once you impress them, like almost everybody who sees the thing you've done is like, oh, this is good. So he's like one of those people. So,
Oh, really?
yeah, yeah, I like people like that actually. I don't like people who just say, "Oh, you're doing great." It's like, give me feedback. I think it's nice. It's like, get out of here, loser. Like, but yeah.
Hmm. All right. I think that's a good note to end on. Yeah.
By the way, if I offended anybody with
The Me Too movement.
yeah,
No, I doubt it.
you can take your Rudy Tooty candy. No, I'm just joking. And I'll just leave it at that.
All right.
Sorry.
Anything you want to say before we go?
Live long and prosper.
Come on, man. I guess Star Trek works. I don't know. What do I know? It's just like I guess I should be more kind, right?
No.
I always like the very end of podcasts because you always get these awkward moments and they're always fun to listen to. Or at least I like listening to awkward moments. Like, yeah. All right. So this has been a live recording on YouTube. I hope you enjoyed it. Next week on our show is Tired and Determined, the YouTuber. That's not just a phrase. Yeah, that's his name. Tired and Determined, formerly Tokyo Joe Vlogs. I want to thank everybody for watching. Yeah, it was great to have you on the show, Justin. I'll just say that much.
All right, thanks.
We should do this again sometime because I was thinking about switching things up with this podcast starting next year. But yeah, but so until then, I'm Radrey.
And I'm Justin.
Justin Carter, the filmmaker. All right, guys. See ya.
All right, peace, man.